Will flying ever be climate neutral? Lots of research has been done on carbon neutral flying. The aviation industry accounts for 3% of global CO2 emissions each year, a number that's expected to rise. In the long term, the industry aims to make flying climate neutral. But how? Currently, there are two approaches. One is developing battery-powered motors for electric aircraft. The other is developing sustainable aviation fuel like hydrogen or biofuels. First, let's take a look at electric motors for aircraft. They would only be climate neutral if the electricity used was generated from renewable sources. But there's a bigger problem with electric aircraft. Their batteries would need to store massive amounts of energy, making them much larger and heavier than the plane itself. That's just not practical. What about hydrogen? While hydrogen is 3 times more energy efficient than kerosene, it requires a lot more space. That's true even if it's cooled and turned into its liquid form. And airports would have to change their entire refueling infrastructure, which is highly unlikely. So what about biofuels for airplanes? Many experts are betting on them. At present, the most common sources of biofuel are biomass and used cooking oil, but far too little of those are being produced currently. Just enough to keep the world's planes in the air for around 3 hours per year. And biofuels cost 2 to 5 times more than fossil kerosene, which means ticket prices would have to go up dramatically as well. Hardly anyone would be able to afford them. Scientists are looking for cheaper and more practical ways of achieving carbon-neutral flight for the masses. But we'll likely have to wait a few years before climate-neutral aviation becomes a global reality.